In the Farbrengen of Chof Tesel Tovshin Chof Beis, the night of Erev Rosh Hashanah Tovshin Chof Gimel, they brought the Shtender that they brought from Eretz Yisrael to the Farbrengen. They gave it to the Rebbe. And as I said, they made it in Eretz Yisrael. They brought it from Eretz Yisrael, and they copied the Shtender that the Rebbe had from before that was there in the shul, and they gave it to the Rebbe. And the Rebbe spoke about it. And the Rebbe explained the Inyan Niruchni is based on a story that the Frierdiker Rebbe told, that once the Alter Rebbe asked his son, the Mittel Rebbe, with what did you daven Rosh Hashanah? And he answered, I davened with the Hizbonanis in V'chol Koimo Lefanecha Tishtachave. Koimo means the whole setup of everything bows down to Hashem. Then he asked his father, the Alter Rebbe, with what did you daven? He said, I daven with the Shtender, I daven with the Shtender. And the Rebbe explained what this means. V'chol Koimo Lefanecha Tishtachave says in Chassidus goes on Koimo the Ak, which means, and the whole Seder Ishtalshalis. And he was Mizbeinen how the whole Seder Ishtalshalis is bottled to Hashem. But when the Alter Rebbe told him that he davened with the Shtender, means he was Mizbeinen concerning the Inyan of the Shtender. What's the Inyan of a Shtender? The Shtender basically is a daimim. A daimim means an inanimate object. Even though originally it was tzemeach, it grew, it was a tree, it was wood, but it turned into a Inyan of daimim, which means it became even lower than before. So this is even a lower level than daimim. B'chal, we have 4 levels in the world. Inanimate objects, then you have the plant life and the animal life and the human being. And the Shtender is even lower than the daimim because it's not just a daimim. It was a tzemeach and turned it into a daimim. So it went down on the madrege. So it shows on the lower madrege. And the Alter Rebbe was mizbeinen, even that is bottled to Hashem. And the Rebbe explained how that bittul is a greater bittul than the bittul when you're mizbeinen chol kemel of nechet shtachave. Because when you're mizbeinen in haseder ishtalshet is bottled to Hashem, it comes from seichel that you understand how this and this thing is bottled to Hashem, and everything is bottled to Hashem, but it's limited to how much you're understanding and limited to how much that thing that you're thinking about is. But the Shtender, which is a daimim, and a daimim which helps a person daven because it's a Shtender that you could put your siddur on and you could lean on, so it helps a person daven. Davening is when you reach to understand the bittul of everything, and when you use the Shtender to help you, then it brings out this point that the bittul is even a greater bittul than the bittul that you have through your understanding. Why? Because the Shtender is a daimim, and it helps you daven, and there is no isbonanis in the Shtender. The Shtender itself has nothing to understand, and it helps you understand. It means you understand how there is a bittul which is beyond any limit. So the inyan of being misbeinen in the Shtender, that brings out a greater bittul than the bittul that you understand from V'chol Keimet. And this is connected, Rebbe said, to Dora Dikvis of the Mashiach, to the generation of the Ikvaim, of the heels of Mashiach, because that's the union of a heel. A heel has no seichel, and the bittul that it has is the greatest bittul. Like it says in Chassidus, but again, Moshe Rabbeinu, it says Moshe Rabbeinu was the greatest onev. So it says that he was the greatest onev. More even when he saw the future, he saw what's going to be with the people in Dora, the Ikvis of the Mashiach. A time when people will no understanding, but they will be completely bottled to Hashem with the Mesiras Nefesh. And that's hinted in the union of the bittul of the Shtender, that the Shtender is a Metzias which is completely bottled to Hashem, even though it's a very low madrege, but it has this level of bittul. And this is what the Alter Rebbe said, Benigei his boniness. And the Rebbe said the lesson we take from here that even though who could be in the level of the Alter Rebbe, but nevertheless we have to come to a level of bittul, a bittul to understand that everything is bottled Metzias, from the highest to the lowest, but not just part of a big kaima, but the lowest, something that's very, very low, is also bottled to Hashem, and that's the highest understanding that you could get and feeling of the gather of bittul. And that's what we're supposed to do in the month of Elul and Tishrei, etc., etc. After the Farbrengen, the Rebbe said they should take the Shtender up to his room, and it went up to his room. They didn't know how long it's going to stay there. It stayed there quite a few months, and then the Rebbe sent it out to be taken into the shul. And now there were 2 Shtenders that before they would have to schlep it. The Rebbe davened sometimes upstairs, sometimes downstairs. They would have to schlep it up and down. And from then on, they had 2 identical Shtenders. One was upstairs, one was downstairs, and that's the Shtender that the Rebbe davened on in shul. But before that, they said, the Maskirim said that in the Rebbe's room, he used that Shtender very much when he was learning or davening, whatever he was doing. And after a few months, that's when he sent it out to be in the shul.